Thank you for being with us today. He served as head of the Federal Reserve here in Chicago, great civic leader, Lester McKeever. Lester, thank you for joining us. And at one of the most historic periods in the city of Chicago, he served as finance chairman and then now serves as the chief judge of the Cook County court system, Judge Tim Evans. Judge, thank you so much for being with us today. So we're going to suspend the rules a little, Dr. Green, if we may.
Go ahead, Ron.
So to introduce our distinguished speaker today, we've asked someone who really understands the City Club. She has used it well, and she's going to be using it to get the word out in the Cook County government. She's the Cook County Board President, who was elected roughly 6 months ago. Prior to that, she was the 4th Ward Alderman. She earned her bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Chicago. Cook County Board President, Toni Preckwinkle. Madam President.
So good afternoon, everyone. As many of you may know, I'm a teacher by profession, and I'm always pleased when people who are talented and well-educated choose public service, particularly choose to work in county government. You know, I think often when folks think of public service, they think of their local municipality, their city, or they think of the state or the federal government. But often the county isn't on the radar screen. And our guest today is the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, Dorothy Brown, who served in that post for 11 years. She's the official keeper of records for all judicial matters brought before the county. She's an attorney, a CPA, and has an MBA degree. She's responsible for managing a budget in excess of $100 million and has a workforce of a little over 2,100 employees. Please welcome her warmly.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you, President Preckwinkle, for that introduction. I want to certainly thank the City Club of Chicago for providing me this opportunity to take a part in what I consider a very important forum. It's widely regarded as a preeminent venue for elected officials, community leaders, and other stakeholders to communicate their ideas and goals and of how to improve public and business services in Chicago. So thank you, City Club of Chicago, especially to Mr. Paul Green and Dr. Paul Green and Mr. J. Dorothy. Thank you all for inviting me here today. I want to recognize my special guest, the Honorable Chief Judge Evans. Give him a big hand. Thank you, Chief, for being here. I would like to just say thank you to my staff who are here today, and especially recognize my Chief of Staff, Mr. Dwana Wilkes, and my Executive Clerk for Court Operations, Mr. John Chaz. I want to thank the other judges for being here as well, especially Judge Wright. Thank you, Judge Wright, and all of your staff for being here, and thank you, President Preckwinkle, for that kind introduction. You said it exactly the way we wrote it. So thank you so very much. And let me just start out this way, because I want to see if anyone wore jeans today. Any jeans today? Oh, we got one. Oh my goodness, we're not going to get any jean money out of this crowd. There goes the Jean Day money. Oh well, what the heck. All jokes aside, though, I'd like to inform you about the very serious business of the Clerk of the Court. Although we've attempted to raise the public awareness of the Clerk of the Court to a whole new level, here are a few little known facts. We keep the official records of all judicial matters coming into one of the largest unified court systems in the world. We're governed by 270 fees and fines statutes The Administrative Office of Illinois Courts generate administrative orders from our judges and circuit court rules. We collect court fines and fees from 950 and disperse to 950 different state and local agencies, 129 suburban police departments, 25 Chicago police districts, and over 800 other governmental agencies. We provide court-related services to over 40,000 attorneys. We assist pro se litigants and the general public at large. We provide support to more than 400 judges. We handle almost 2 million new cases a year, 6 million public inquiries, 18 million items of activity a year, and we have, as of 2010, more than 1 billion court records in our database. And all this handled by only 2,100 employees. We manage 44 different division, districts, and departments in 24 different locations throughout the county, and as President Pretwinkle said, a budget of about $100 million. We're on the leading edge of green court technology with an emphasis in efficiency, transparency, and financial accountability with higher revenues and decreasing expenditures. Now, I was elected in 2000, and having spent most of my professional career in the private sector, my immediate focus was to bring the operations of the clerk's office into the 21st century. My transition team was directed to research and recommend ways to make the clerk's office work more efficiently to best serve the needs of the citizens of Cook County. I took care to hire top-notch or retain top-notch qualified personnel, and I motivated my managers to implement compatible new processes and technologies that would enhance operations and improve customer service while increasing the public access to justice. Moreover, I stress to all employees to be ever mindful that each case filed they handle on a day-to-day basis represents a human life. Steering the clerk's office ship toward a course of efficiency was a daunting task. We had to move the clerk's office out of archaic and wasteful practices and develop services and programs that would rapidly transform the work environment. In short order, we replaced the green screen dumb terminals with 21st century computers and up-to-date software and office products, improved communications for all of the employees, providing them with email technology, building an intranet for proper communication of information. I understood the cost effectiveness of consolidation before it became the latest government buzzword. In 2003, we consolidated our clerk's office mainframe hardware with Cook County's mainframe, saving the county over $1 million a year. We trained employees in leadership skills, customer service, and diversity, because I discovered that most of the employees had never been to a formalized training. We made the clerk's office 100% automated in our case management area, and we installed an integrated cashiering system, which permits filing throughout the county. We increased public access to court services through an interactive website, placed over 630 forms, fillable forms on the website, going up from the 60 unfillable forms that were there when we took office. Within those first few years, I can say assuredly that we revolutionized the clerk's office, taking it from a sluggish agency bogged down in redundant tasks and labor-intensive processes, and advanced it into a proficient workplace, buzzing with new ideas and committed to further improvement. From this solid foundation, our goal was to continue to move the clerk's office towards its greatest potential in functionality and customer benefit, taking advantage of ever-expanding state-of-the-art innovations of the technological age. I would like to say that over the past 10 years, we have implemented hundreds of new programs and services in the clerk's office in our effort to realize a highly effective, transparent, and efficient governmental agency that's responsive to the growing and changing needs of a modern urban region. You can ask my staff that are here about how our employees are constantly encouraged to continually raise the bar in work performance regardless of their level. and we ask them to see opportunities for generating new ideas for positive growth as limitless in achieving the high level of goals and vision laid out for our office. In recent years, we've proudly completed several key programs that meet the established criteria of good green government service. Some of these programs save taxpayers money. Some of these programs even give back money to taxpayers, save time for court users, and reduce our impact on the environment, such as electronic filing. We partnered with the Chief Judge Evans in implementing electronic filing in May of 2009, and we're soon to roll out electronic filing for the entire court system, and we have over 7,000 registered users at this point. Online traffic ticket payment system we launched in July 2009, where individuals can plead guilty or plead innocent over the internet and receive a court date or pay their fine or fee or request traffic safety school. This was developed in-house with our experts at no cost to the county. An imaging and document management storage system. We launched that in November 2009. It's a technology that allows our staff to image court documents at the time of filing and manage those court records electronically in a document management system. We implemented a smart kiosk system over at the criminal courthouse in 2010. This automated information terminals facilitates the retrieval of court information, court times, room location, judges' names, and the charges of the defendants. And this can be retrieved and printed out in Spanish, Polish, and English. Mortgage foreclosure sales surplus proceeds. We created a search engine, and this is where we give money back to our citizens if they lost their property through mortgage foreclosure sales. We had about $19 million in that fund when I took office, and I decided that we needed to provide a search, a possibility for individuals to go on our website to find out if they have money coming to them. And we've been able to give out millions of dollars since we put that search engine on our website. Unclaimed child support checks is also a search engine that we put on our website in order to ensure that individuals whose checks have come back to our office before they moved, or the check just simply went unclaimed for many years. When I took office, it was about $6 million in that fund, and now it's only $100,000 because we've made it possible for people to find their unclaimed child support checks. Additionally, a couple of our e-court technology programs are helping us to improve public safety. Order of Protection Smart Forms. We launched that in October 2009 during Domestic Violence Month, and it permits victims to prepare their order of protection, a very easy to read technology. It provides them with answering certain questions, and the forms are actually created for them from these questions. And they can do that from the safety of their home, over the internet, or from a shelter, or from our office if they see fit. Electronic tickets. We are working with several police municipalities at this moment to provide their police officers with computers within their cars so that they can actually create an electronic ticket and process the ticket and speed up the traffic stop and make it even more safety for them. And they will upload that information to our office and automatically fill our database so that we cut down on redundant data entry. We have also found ways to generate revenue. Cash bails by credit cards, and we also have credit cards for other types of fees. With our cash bail by credit card program, we're able to permit individuals to pay their bail by credit card. We helped the sheriff reduce the jail overcrowding, which helped him with the Duran decree. We started that program back in 2004, and we have collected $37.2 million. And including additional revenue that we've collected by credit card, we have collected a total of $57.4 million using the credit card service. My staff and I have focused on employing these innovative programs in a concerted effort to realize an overarching vision of the 21st century courtroom of Cook County, an ideal green court. You may ask, where do we go from here? What more can be done? I'm happy to describe my vision of a 21st century courtroom that I witnessed at the William & Mary College for the National Center for State Courts. Interactive court order system. We're working with the chief judge right now with an interactive court order system that will permit the judges to actually create their own orders, and that information will upload to our database, cutting down on duplicative, redundant data entries. Remote interactive witness testimonies shown over monitors. This will help individuals that have expert witnesses to come in from throughout the world. And also, individuals can also come in and be a witness through the monitors over through the court system. Exhibits and court filings displayed over screens at the judge's bench, the lawyer's table, juror's box, and in the general courtroom. This cuts down on the usage of paper in the courtroom, permits electronic filing, acceptance, and viewing of various directly into our storage systems. Two other efforts that I feel are very important for the court system is video and voice conferencing for motion and case management calls. If you permit video and voice conferencing for motion and voice and case management calls, judges can do that in their chambers, and that can relieve their case docket and speed up other court cases and make the case docket go more expeditious. I was recently at an e-courts conference where I witnessed where citizens could bail their loved ones out over the internet versus coming down to the jail. When it's cold in Chicago, you might not get your relative to come down to the jail. So they can actually bail their loved ones out over the internet, or they could go to the grocery store and do it from a kiosk, which would relieve my office from actually having to staff a bond room. And so this was something that we saw, and we're going to be having that someone to come to do a presentation on that. Now that I have laid out the vision, you're probably wondering, how do we realize this exciting goal of 21st century courts? Specifically, how can we afford this dream, especially in light of the current financial challenges facing our city and our county? I say, how can we afford not to do these kinds of initiatives and move in this direction? I've always stressed the importance of running a tightly managed, lean and effective and efficient organization. Mr. Lester McKeever can tell you that from my CPA days, working and partnering many times with Lester McKeever's firm on various audit projects. Early in my term in office, in fact, before I took office, I knew that to be successful in today's public service environment, it would be essential to dramatically shift the paradigm of how governmental agencies run. Today, more than ever, I believe that to successfully operate a streamlined and competent clerk's office and reach the futuristic level of court operations I have described requires a commitment to a fiscal outlook that incorporates efficiency, transparency, and accountability. Efficiency is better utilizing our public resources. At the clerk's office, we continually seek ways to structure operations and public services to yield maximum results with the least amount of labor and/or cost. We've used employees' performance management techniques throughout my term. Transparency. We provide public access to information. The clerk's office website is continually being upgraded to ensure that the public can easily access court information. We even have a senior citizens page on our website. We also provide for the viewing of court information and document images on our public access terminals. Financial accountability, safeguarding taxpayers' investment and using public resources responsibly. We guard against waste, mismanagement, and poor customer relations by encouraging both employees and the public to report any incidents of abuse to our Inspector General's website via a hotline, email, fax, or snail mail. So our Inspector General's office launched the website in 2010. We employ innovative collection strategies for collecting fines and fees. We have 2 collection agencies, and to date, since 2006, we've collected $21 million, either with the collection agencies or our own financial compliance unit that we created in our accounting department. We developed ways to generate new revenues. One of the things we did was to go to Springfield, and we got the legislature to permit the clerk's office to actually do state income tax refund intercepts. And we have intercepted, hopefully not from any of you, $8 million to date. We also were able to have the laws changed related to court automation and document storage, and we've collected $93 million to date. We worked with the Chief Judge's Office to create a bulk data dissemination policy, and we've collected $5.3 million. To ensure that fines and fees were up to date, we were able to get fees raised, and to date, we have raised $197 million in revenue. This has resulted in the last 10 years in the clerk's office in the revenues and the expenditures actually turning upside down. You can see that the revenues are in blue, the expenditures are in red. And early on in my administration, the expenditures were higher than the revenues. As you can see, slowly the revenues went up, the expenditures went down. Our revenues and expenditures has actually turned upside down in the last 10 years. And I want to applaud my staff because they have done an outstanding job in helping us get this done. At last week's inauguration service for our newly elected city officials, I was particularly impressed by a statement made by Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He said, "New times demand new answers. Old problems cry out for better results." I cannot agree more with this concept. That is why we're guiding the clerk's office to be ahead of the curve as we rush headlong into a future that will present both challenges and at the same time opportunities, the likes of which we've never experienced before. In these new times, as elected officials, public servants, we must be diligent in our responsibility to taxpayers to protect their investment while we expand and strengthen the quality of public services. As I have always contended, we can no longer afford business as usual. That's not solving the chronic problems of poor performance or ineffective and wasteful programs. In these tough economic and budgetary times, public leaders have a responsibility to find innovative ways to save taxpayers' money. It is incumbent upon us to actively seek out learning opportunities and continue to educate even ourselves after we're elected. In 2010, I attended the Driving Government Performance Program at Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government and returned with new ideas, proven strategies, and master plans that I've either implemented or I am in the process of implementing in the clerk's office. We in government owe our citizens competent and progressive management of public resources. We must demonstrate that through the use of best practices, we're staying on the cutting edge and keeping pace with changing times and shifting conditions. As public leaders, we must be forward-thinking and use fresh approaches. We have to push ahead because it is the best way to serve the citizens of Cook County, the city, and the United States of America. And we must use the resources of our various offices. In short, it is just simply the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for now, and it's the right thing to do for the future generations. Thank you.
Question time.
Oh, question time.
We'll have question time for criminal court clerk Dorothy Brown. Oh, by the way, not that we criminal court, I'm sorry.
Circuit
But
court.
we have circuit court. I go back to judge, I go back to the superior municipal courts. By the way, Alderman Evans, as I knew him, my dad's still around at 95, Tim. It's unbelievable. Drexel Chevrolet, Kenwood 84600. There you go. 90, former head of the Hyde Park Kenwood Chamber of Commerce, when there were like stores that were barely being able to stay open. Enough about this. Oh, what other, before we get going? You know, the City Club never makes a mistake. But when we make a mistake, we compound it. So it's a breakfast with Alderman O'Connor, and it's June 16th. We got that right, but as my counselor said, June 16th is a Thursday, not a Monday. You want to know why we're in debt? Okay, here we go. So it's Thursday, Anthony, Thursday. All right, Bill Seeds, you're always there first. I got to give you credit. Your current e-document system is limited. Right off the bat, a hard one. Do you have plans to emulate the federal online filing and document retrieval system? If so, when?
Okay. Thank you, Bill. You're absolutely right. We kicked it off in the commercial litigation section of the Law Division, and we have received approval from the Illinois Supreme Court to expand it to all civil case types. Where's Bill? Bill? Okay. We have received approval to expand it to all civil case types, and it is our plan. We've already received approval from Chief Judge Evans and the LOIC. They've seen our demonstration for the remainder of the Law Division, and so we expect that to go up very shortly, and then we will expand it to all the various civil case type. I believe Chancery will be next, and then Civil Department, etc.
Okay. This is from Melinda Haig, my seatmate, Crow Horwath. By the way, nice printing. I know that you have taken a leading role on integrated justice information sharing. Can you talk about your past accomplishments? Boy, talk about a softball right off the bat there.
Right. Thank you, Melinda. Yes. Two things. When I was running for office back in 2000, I talked about the importance of integrated justice, that all of the public safety agencies needed to have our systems properly integrated so we could cut down on redundant data entry, and we can ensure that we're providing complete, accurate, and timely information for justice decisions. When I took office, I actually worked with then President Stroger so that the county board did a resolution creating the Cook County Integrated Criminal Justice Committee, of which I am the chair. We have a guiding document, and all the state's attorney, the sheriff, even the city of Chicago, all of those agencies that interface with Cook County are members, and the things that we have been doing from the standpoint of our systems, we're following those standards in order to ensure that as we integrate our systems, and many of them are already integrated, that we are integrating them and that we're accomplishing that in the most expeditious manner. Subsequent to that, I was also appointed by the governor to the Illinois Integrated Information Justice Committee, and I was the outreach committee chair. Subsequent and later became the vice chair, and now I'm the chairman of the Illinois Integrated Information Systems Committee, and we have a guiding document as well, and we're working to ensure that the entire state, that the standards are being followed, and that we have timely, accurate, and complete information throughout the state of Illinois.
All right. This is from B. Handler. Where are you, B. Handler? There you go. Made the room. Something Consultants. Is there any danger to survival of therapeutic and specialty courts? Tony? Therapeutic and specialty courts and the severe funding cuts. I guess you know what that means.
I do. He's talking about mental health courts. We have drug courts and things of that nature. We also have a veterans court, and thank thank Chief Judge Evans for creating a Veterans Court for those issues that specifically related to veterans. But the Mental Health Court and the Drug Court, and of course the Appeal Jury Court, which has been all over the news this past weekend, there's funding for that. Those are minor fees. I would say the fees are not adequate that are allocated for that. So there is a serious danger, in my opinion, as it relates to those particular agents, those particular courts. And because we know how important they are, we need to do everything that we can to ensure that that we are finding alternative mechanisms to properly fund those, even looking at foundations and the like.
Okay. This is from Antonio Romanucci. Also send that, by the way, you sit next to the moderator, you get your questions, you know. It's called reform. Antonio, the ND, that stands for? Northern District. The Northern District of Illinois runs e-filing as an all or nothing program. Either you participate and are trained, or you don't file at all in the court. Do you anticipate Cook County courts following this model?
Thank you, Antonio. We would like Cook County to follow that model at some point, but it's very important that we provide access to justice for all the citizens. And unlike the Northern District, there are not a lot of pro se's in the Northern District, but we have a lot of pro se litigants in Cook County that may not even have access to computers and the like. So for now, the Illinois Supreme Court, taking that into consideration, has precluded us from making electronic filing mandatory. I would expect, Chief Judge, that we would probably be looking at a mandatory system maybe 10 to 15 years from now. I do think that we're going in that direction. We would change the paradigm of how our office operate. We would probably become a big computer facility where all of our staff were sitting at computers accepting electronic filings throughout the day, if in fact it became, but you have to change with the business. But that is something that that would go towards the 21st century courtroom, because we would then be sending only electronic documents into the courtroom.
The last question, Tom Leahy. Tom, where are you? Okay. What happened in 04-05 that reduced appropriations by $20 million, according to the graph behind you? Go ahead.
What happened? A lot happened. Various things happened. Where's Tom? There you go, Tom. There's Tom. Okay. You own it up to your question, Tom? Okay. Okay, well, as you can see, it probably slowly went down. Those were the lean days, the 04, that's when, everyone had the money. We were able to do a lot of more programs. We were permitted to hire more staff, etc. And then things started, I guess the chickens came home to roost. Finally, you found out that the economy turned around, started going down, and so therefore we didn't have the kind of sales tax revenue and all of that. So everyone was requested to start to reduce their budgets. We had an early retirement program, and you were advised to, encouraged to not replace those individuals. We took a serious look at every line item and started to make reductions in them. And so we've just tightened our belt, if you will. And that's not to say that many of our staff are not, probably really under a lot of pressure. They could probably tell you right now, because we are doing a lot more with less. During that time, every year I have a theme that our office follows. And that was one of those years that I told them, look, we have to do more with less. That's our theme this year. And we've had quality assurance as a theme, various themes every year to follow in our office. And that's what we've done, Tom. That's how we've been able to reduce it and you didn't ask about the revenues. What we did in order to increase the revenues, we took a long time going to Springfield. We had to get laws changed. I can't do anything without the permission either of the state legislature, the chief judge, or the Supreme Court. I can't even accept revenue, additional revenue, without that. So it took us a lot of years and a lot of effort to lobby the legislatures in Springfield to change laws so that we could then start to get the kind of revenue that's commensurate with a court system of our magnitude.
How about a round of applause?